Okay, absolutely. Oh, thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I didn't speak. Hello, hello. Yeah, how are you? I'm wonderful, best.
The Wayne County Commission Committee on Ways and Means meeting will now come to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
The board is now open for roll call.
Chair is present.
We have a quorum present.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda.
Item B, Chair's remarks.
I have none at this time. Next item.
Item C, approve of the minutes from the March 10, 2026 meeting.
It's been moved and supported. Please vote on your tablets.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item, Madam Chair.
Item D, unfinished business is now listed. Moving to item E, number 1, a resolution by Commissioner Baker McCormick supporting mandatory disclosure requirements that inform prospective buyers that property taxes may increase following the transfer of ownership due to Michigan's Proposal A uncapping provisions before the sale is complete.
So this item is an item that's under the custody of the committee. This is a long-term discussion that is being led by this committee in regards to addressing the issues of not just the uncapping, but the whole question as relates to taxing, and particularly tax abatements and some of the other things that I do not believe that we have been weighing in on in a productive fashion. I'll just say that, just to say the least. So we will be looking at receiving additional information as it relates to tax abatements, and making sure that when we forego certain funds, that we are clear about the amount of dollars that are not coming into our coffers, but more so whether or not those particular projects have established community benefits within those respective communities. So what is the community benefiting from these various tax captures and other tools that use for economic development? In regards to this resolution, we will receive this now and be prepared to act on this at our next meeting. I want to thank Commissioner Baker McCormick for taking the initiative and bringing this, crafting this up and working with staff to make sure it's all that we wanted it to state. But with that, so we're gonna not pass this for there, but we'll move on this at the next meeting of Ways and Means. Yeah. But thank you, Commissioner Baker.
You want to pass it for the day?
Okay, we have to pass. So it's a motion to pass for today.
So we have a motion by Commissioner Baker McCormick, supported by Vice Chair Baydun.
Okay, it's been moved. Please vote on your tablets.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item 2, requesting Commission approval of a retroactive five-year sole source support agreement with BS&A Software LLC.
Okay, who's here to speak to this? Okay.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, committee members.
Good afternoon.
With respect to item number 2 for the contract between Wayne County and BSNA Software, this is for the software used for assessment administration and property equalization of assessments. This is the main proprietary sole source vendor application that is in use for maintaining the work of our office. And we regret that the contract is in retroactive status. We had a number of issues with dotting the I's and crossing the T's and getting the requisite information from the vendor to our satisfaction, to the satisfaction of Commission Council. All those vetting steps have been done, And this is the first year that we would be going forward prospectively into a 5-year agreement. So instead of going through the annual process, it's essentially just a licensing and support agreement. It's not really buying anything new. We already have the actual capital purchase for the program itself. So this corresponds to the service and support for that application. So it'll be a much more streamlined process in the future, saving everyone a lot of time.
Okay, thank you for that overview. Any questions? Any questions on this item? We'll be taking one action, one motion at the end of the agenda moving forward. Next item, Madam Clerk.
We're now moving to item number 6 on the agenda. Requesting commission approval of a 2-year grant services contract with the Coleman A. Young Foundation.
Okay, who's here to speak to this? Is Ms. Allen here as well? Oh, there she is. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, please, of course, state your name as for the record and, begin the presentation.
Anthony Cartwright, Director of Economic Development. The Michigan legislature unanimously voted in December of 2022 to place a statue of Coleman A. Young, Detroit's first African-American mayor, in Statutory Hall in Washington, D.C., to set the stage to make American history. The resolution introduced and endorsed by then Senator Alvin Hollier successfully declared that mayor deserved a place among the country's human and civil rights icons. Coleman A. Young will now make history as the first state-sanctioned Black man to have a full-body statue in Statutory Hall. The statue will be a 7'9" statue of Coleman Young. It's going to replace the statue of Governor Lewis Cass. I don't know if you guys are aware, but the state of Michigan gets 2 statues in Statutory Hall, one a Republican side nominee and a Democratic side nominee. This is going to replace the Democratic side nominee, which has been Lewis Cass. And like I said, it's honoring Coleman Young as the first, African-American longest serving mayor. And at this time, federally, where history is being altered and things are being done to just to change the course of what we have been doing and what's been done in history. It's kind of important, and it's very important to us, and it's very important to the CEO that we are participant in making sure that this history is maintained, and we're going to do our part in preserving this history and making sure that certain parts of our history is not forgotten.
Okay, thank you. Anyone here present would like to also chime in?
Yeah. Good afternoon, Janelle Allen, Chief Operating Officer for Wayne County Executive Warren Evans. And I do believe that Mr. Cartwright really has conveyed our position here. And I am here on behalf of the county executive to say how it is such an honor and how important it is a priority for us to be a part of this really iconic event for an iconic civil rights person represented for the city of Detroit. And as Mr. Cartwright said, with the former mayor Coleman Young being our first African-American and a real transformative, iconic civil rights legend for our region. And it is such an honor to be able to support and partake in this. To be able for our students, there will be millions. The exposure at the national level is priceless, invaluable. There will be millions of students and individuals, including our own Wayne County students and residents, who have access to learning about the iconic Coleman Young. And we believe this is just such a phenomenal opportunity for also Wayne County, given that the city of Detroit is our largest city. But I do believe that Mr. Turner, who leads the Coleman A. Young Foundation, really can even add more here, because I know this has been a long journey here, and we're just at a very pivotal time. And again, we think it's just a tremendous opportunity that we can help bring this dream to reality.
Thank you, Ms. Cartwright. And I mean, Ms. Allen and Mr. Cartwright. And Good morning. Greetings to all of you. A long journey indeed. It has been, but it's been well worth it because I'm Kari Turner. I'm executive director for Coleman A. Young Foundation. This is a unique opportunity for Wayne County, for the city of Detroit. But the state legislature voted unanimously, which also means they recognize the opportunity for the state and the nation. As the executive director of the mayor's lasting legacy, I'm excited about the other thing that the state resolution wants to do, which is create a narrative that raises funds that drives our workforce development mission and our college persistence mission. That is the ultimate. That's the ultimate objective of this. We start by placing a statue in Statuary Hall, but we end by doing our part to increase the population of college-educated and well-prepared students in Wayne County, young adults in Wayne County who live, work, and serve here. And that was our founder's ultimate goal. So I think this is a very appropriate time in history, and I just want to say thank you to taking a close look at what we're trying to achieve.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. And we all, here is particularly myself, a lot of politicians across the board their seat and position in government to men like Coleman Young, and specifically Coleman Young for being a trailblazer on so many different areas. Coleman Young, those of us who were around back then, even though I was a kid, would oftentimes work across the aisle to get things done. And if you remember back then, we definitely needed to help have Republican support to take on a lot of the initiatives, the rebuilding, the construction of the Renaissance Center, just a host of things that we now take a look at and that as transformative over the years in the city of Detroit. So I'm glad that this is in front of us. And looking forward to when the statue will actually be at our U.S. Capitol. Are there any questions of Commissioner Mayberry, Commissioner Baker McCormick, and then Commissioner Scott?
Yes, ready?
Yes, Commissioner.
Thank you. Through the chair, long overdue. I appreciate this. I do have a couple questions. One, what does marketing look like? So I know that there's PR and marketing embedded in this as well. What does marketing look like and to whom?
That's an excellent question. We want to create a national narrative arc. There are many historic points in this process. Mayor Young will be the first African-American man to be sanctioned by a state legislature to have a monument placed in Statuary Hall. He will also be the sixth African-American overall with a full-body statue placed in Statuary Hall. So that alone leads us to believe that this is a great state conversation, but it's a national conversation. So the media, the marketing around it will target community engagement, of course. We'll start there, but also active media engagement to create an 18 to 24-month narrative arc. We want this story told on national outlets. I fantasize about CBS Sunday Morning doing a broad story on this that ultimately speaks to the efforts of his lone non-political endeavor, which is this foundation, to do its part to educate Detroit and Wayne County youth. So social media engagement will be critical. The community engagement and public education process will also be critical, and we want it to be sustained. The reality is that when we discuss the mayor, there's still no gray area, so we also want to be responsible in how we address issues management, questions that come up, because we welcome the conversations just as our founder did. So we just want to be prepared.
Thank you. And one last question through the chair. Have there been any dollars allocated, or what are the conversations like at the city and state level to help support?
There are conversations at the city and state level, and we're working through those processes as well. Obviously, we also had to work patiently because of the recent election season and the transition, but the city is interested. The city is excited and they want to be a part of the process and a part of the conversation. I'm just looking forward to seeing what those details look like.
You can let them know you came to the county first. Thank you.
We did. We told them. Get on board. We told them.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Baker McCormick, and then Commissioner Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Do we know who we would commission for this statute?
Austin Brantley.
Okay.
We commissioned a young man who looks like the kind of student that Coleman A. Young Foundation would have put through college. He's world renowned. He works out of his studio in the city of Detroit. He's done sculptures around the planet, and he is excited. And he's going to be the second African American sculptor to create a monument for a statuary hall.
So I am honored to make the motion for this endeavor. I mean, we, as the chair just said, that did you? Oh, okay. As you said,
Doing at the end, so you can make the
yeah,
motion
I
at the
made
end.
the motion.
Okay.
Just now.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
saying.
Yeah.
I just made. He's like, what? So, but as you stated, we stand on his shoulders. I know I do, growing up, just watching him. But one thing I do know for sure about him, he was about economic in our community and creating opportunities for us. And so what I do as a commissioner is really built on what he did. And so my push has always been, how do we help our young people become better, do better, and the economic wealth of our community. So I'm honored to be a part of this. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to take this vote after Commissioner Scott and any other additional commissioners' comments or questions. Commissioner Scott?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for bringing this. I not only knew of him, I worked with him.
Oh, wow.
I was mayor at the time when he was mayor, and he allowed Marshall Emerson to be my police chief from the city of Detroit. And so many things. We had to go on Detroit's water and stuff. So he was just an instrument to Highland Park back in those days. And those days were 88 on. So I am just appreciative of this, and I thank you all for doing this. It's awesome. He was an awesome man. He was kind of tough, but he was awesome. I learned a lot from him. So thank you all so much. I appreciate this.
And for the record, the maker of the motion will be, giving privilege to Commissioner Scott, will be the maker of the motion, and the second will come from Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, any additional questions? Any additional questions? Any additional questions? Okay. Okay, at this point, been moved by Commissioner Scott, supported by Commissioner Baker McCormick. Okay, yes, Commissioner Anderson, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I understand the sentiment here, but I also understand that the county should not be bearing the load that it is. And I think that we should not take action on spending county money until there's been other commitments. City of Detroit should be with the one handling this, I believe, it with the support of others. I don't know if there's been any great fundraising efforts made that has produced part of the revenue, or should be, in my opinion, should be all of that funding. I don't know of any, certainly in the time that I've been on the commission, I've never seen a statue that the county has paid for. And I understand some would think this is a different circumstances, but I don't recall. I do remember Rosa Parks, I believe the fundraising was overwhelming, but I believe this is something that should be done, should have been initiated and should be paid for by the city of Detroit.
Yeah, so I'll talk, then I'll let Mr. Turner correct me if I'm wrong, but the foundation has been fundraising. This is a multiple phase project. We are being responsible for funding phase one of the project, was a statue. Their list right now includes Susan Shank, John James Foundation, Illich Foundation, Kresge Foundation, Knight Foundation. So they are fundraising. They're getting money from multiple various parts and multiple foundations. Like I said, this is a multiple phase project, and we are financing phase one of this, which is the statue. And,
So they have already contributed, or they made a commitment that they would.
Yes, sir. They've contributed, and there are commitments. It's a state initiative, and that's one of the things that excites us. And it was a unanimous initiative. Both sides of the aisle agreed 100% to make this happen, which signaled the invitation to the whole state to get involved in not just creating the campaign, but also in supporting it. And so again, I can only say thank you to you and to the commission for being the first and for putting the spur to the city of Detroit. Now that our new leadership is in place, they're on their way. And we're thankful to those other partners who have come on board early and helped us.
And so the city of Detroit at this point is not obligated themselves or volunteered to do anything as far as the funding. Correct. And the legislature itself, while it may be recommending and like the idea and support the idea, they usually provide some funding. And so they've not provided any funding for this project at all.
and I think part of that is probably because of the new administration. There's there's a lot of changes going on with the new administration in the city of Detroit right now. So we are a little bit more stable right now as far as our administration goes. So we can start to get the ball rolling. And I'm probably 99.9% sure that, once we get this ball rolling, the city of Detroit will.
So I understand. So I just want to chime in on it. The city of Detroit does intend on taking on this. This initiative started coming through during the transition of the outgoing mayor and then the new mayor. But I do understand that the city of Detroit will be contributing to this, and there's some other major donors, because I did some due diligence after I knew this was coming to us, because I knew some of those questions. So Detroit will be coming along with this, and I think this is part of the budget conversations that the city of Detroit is currently undertaking right now. Okay, any additional questions?
Commissioner
Okay,
Clemente.
Commissioner Clemente, yep.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for presenting this to us. So I just wanted to understand what was stated, that we are only putting in money for the statue, but I also see that there's also an expense for marketing. And we are doing that.
We're doing that. Phase one is, the implementation of the statute, which includes marketing and education.
So if the city of Detroit gets involved, still our money, our county money is going to, what's phase one, what's phase two?
Phase two is going.
Paying for the transportation, the statue, the marketing, along with other people that you stated. What's the next step?
Phase two speaks more to the other goal of the state initiative, which benefits the Coleman and Young Foundation. And it also speaks to the replica statue that we're going to place in the city of Detroit.
We're putting money into the foundation?
The resolution is to place the statue in place and also to make sure that funds that are also raised benefit the foundation's mission.
But if I may clarify, Wayne County's money is not going as a
With the
donation to the foundation.
Right,
Is
that
that
part.
the
Thank you for clarifying that,
Yeah.
because that is not what
I
we
was
should
just-
be doing with taxpayer dollars.
No, we're handling this like any other project that we have. This is a reimbursable contract. They will provide us with the invoicing and due diligence, and we will reimburse after that.
And where is this money, the money is it SLURF money or what money, where is this money coming from? Is it general fund dollars?
No, this is a general fund.
Okay,
uh,
thank you.
General fund special account. Yeah, replacement fund, general fund special accounts, which is the replacement revenue.
Which was the former
Slur.
ARPA dollar.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, Commissioner Ricky.
Thanks. So the money that you've raised from the foundations that you mentioned, John James went through the list. Are those monies going towards the statue or are they going toward the Coleman Young Foundation?
The statue.
Okay, what is the total cost gonna be of the statue? Replacement, the tear down of the old statue? What's the total cost?
The total cost at this point is anticipated, but we anticipate a full campaign cost of just north of 1 million.
All right, thank you.
Right, okay. Any additional questions? Any additional questions? Okay, we will now vote on this item. Chair votes yes. Yes, my device isn't working.
Yes, yes, yes.
Commissioner Mariki? Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item, Madam Clerk.
We are returning to the agenda for item number 2. We need a vote on this item.
Okay, motion is in order.
Hold on 1 second. Motion and support for item number 2.
Okay,
That's the BSNA LLC software.
okay, so a motion. So we need a motion. We're gonna vote on, no, we're gonna just dispose of these two right quick. Yeah. So it's been moved by Commissioner Baydun, supported by Commissioner Baker, Peterson Mayberry. Okay, what'd you say?
Peterson Mayberry is not on the committee.
No. Commissioner Baker McCormick.
No problem.
Okay, please
Vote.
please vote.
Motion carries.
Okay, next item, Madam Clerk.
We are now moving to item number 3, discussion by the Personnel Human Resources Department regarding the status of the county's health insurance plan negotiations.
Okay, who is present to speak to this? I know that the director, Donna Wilson, will be joining us by Zoom.
Yes.
As relates to this discussion. Okay.
Through the chair, Donna Wilson, PHR Director.
Through the chair, Aaron Wagner, Procurement Director.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. As you had already been informed by our committee, there's a lot of discussion taking place in the community, especially when you're talking about Blue Cross and Blue Shield. I understand that the county, its agreement and contract with Blue Cross is still under negotiation. So you will not be bringing us anything as it relates to that item at this time. But there's a lot of concerns about the impact of some of the other negotiations with other healthcare systems that Blue Cross is having, particularly with University of Michigan, as well as the, just the overall status of potentially a lot of the movement that's taking place in the health insurance plan area. What are we looking at as far as potential changes, potential impact with a number of these discussions that Blue Cross, a major health insurance provider in our area?
Yeah, Donna, do you want to take the one piece and I can
Sure.
talk on the solicitation?
Yes. Through the chair, so Blue Cross did provide notification to the county and also provided notification to the employees that potentially are impacted by the negotiations. We were hopeful that the negotiations will, be no separation or disruption of services for our employees, but it's right now there's through June 30th, and we will know as they continue to negotiate if there's a resolution, but we will be able to give our employees as much advance notice as possible in working with the Blues should it not reach an agreement. But we are hopeful that it will reach an agreement.
Okay. Okay, let me ask any of the members. I know that a number of us had some questions about some of these notices going all out. I know we've received a number of emails from different systems. So Commissioner Marecki?
Thank you. So Donna, June 30th is the cutoff date. Is that when everything would stop? Or it would just, they would give a little bit more time? I know my doctor, because my whole family's at U of M, and the doctors are calling us, telling us to make appointments. I mean, my cancer follow-ups are there. And so would that just end on June 30th?
Well, and again, we're not part of negotiations of the transition period, but one of the things that we are in contact with the Blue Cross on a consistent basis, finding out the status of the negotiations. So we would not wait to June 30th to be requesting additional communication with our staff and information on what is the transition.
Okay. All right. And then you'll let everybody know exactly what's going on with that.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And Commissioner Clemente.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Has anything like this ever happened before? And could you run me through a scenario if what it looks like if we no longer we're in active treatment at U of M, and it's very concerning. And I know you're not in negotiations, but what does that mean for our employees, family members, if something like this does happen? What happens with insurance?
Right. So typically we don't see something of this magnitude. Like doctors or individual providers may opt in or may opt out of Blue Cross. So this is in recent history for a major system like this. But what would happen is that employees would be able to select additional doctors if they do not want, because now U of M will be out of network. And so the employees will have options of staying with their current doctor, but out of network, or, changing physicians to be in network.
Thank you. So we'll definitely be keeping our eye on this, as well as reaching out to University of Michigan. That is a public institution, and so absolutely we'll be keeping our eye on this, because a lot of residents as well as commissioners are part of that utilizes that system. So thank you, Ms. Wilson, and thank you, Mr. Wagner.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Item number 4, discussion by the Register of Deeds regarding the status of deed frauds in Wayne County.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Thank you.
Turn your mic on.
Oh, there we go. Thank you very much. An honor again to see everybody here this morning. And unfortunately, I've been asked to talk about ongoing deed fraud, and it is continuing. And much to the chagrin of the great Mayor Coleman Young, to see the historic generational wealth of the city of Detroit being depleted. And sadly, recently I checked back and found out that our courts are giving a lot of probation out to the individuals who are stealing property. So it's not much of a deterrent right now that I see. And I hope that the powers within this office and those within the city of Detroit who have heard my messages and now are starting to do community meetings will get charged up and find out why it is so easy to do and why there is not more deterrent for deed fraud. I brought to light so much information over the last 24 years, but I can't do this alone. I need your voice. I need the voice of the city of Detroit. So what questions can I answer?
So the biggest thing is that I wanted you to come in this public meeting as you have in the past, because you see, like you said, it's a number of reports that making it appear as if it's, something new that's being discussed and that other individuals are discovering this. No, this is something that you brought forward. This commission, this county has taken very seriously. You're now reporting to us that unfortunately the courts are sentencing these individuals to light sentences. And so I guess we need to have some conversations as relates to that particular issue as well. But I want to, thank you for continuing to advocate, get necessary resources to address this issue. But I want you to also recognize that this commission recognizes that you have been one of the key leaders and architect of addressing deed fraud in this country, in this county, and across this country. So I want to first recognize that. And then I want to now go to Commissioner Marecki, who asked to be recognized, then Commissioner Scott.
Thank you.
Yep.
We also have
Which
Commissioner.
courts are
Okay,
you
okay.
referring to? Is this a circuit court? Is it
Well,
a
these are criminal activities
Yep.
in criminal court under, yes, so,
circuit courts? Okay,
correct.
and they're getting probation.
That's my understanding of the last few years. We used to get significant sentences, and that doesn't seem to be the case. And I can't answer why I'm usually not in a trial. Perhaps the prosecutor could answer that more deeply than I could.
And do you know, are these just scattered throughout the circuit court, or do they go to one particular bench?
I really cannot answer that.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Okay, then Commissioner Scott, then Commissioner Baidoon, then Clemente.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, sir, for being here today.
My pleasure.
Can we pull that team back together that we had before with the sheriff and the prosecutor and you?
I don't know that I can do that, Commissioner. First of all, that was a team that I gathered out of my funding. And I don't know what my funding is right now because the new computer software doesn't give me information on how we are doing.
You're talking about Oracle?
Correct. So someone else is having difficulty. So it would be difficult for me to respond that, yes, we can pull that team together. However, let me mention this. The team is still dedicated to this work. The sheriff's team, the prosecutor, and my team, who starts it all off, we are still doing our functions, although it's not in one unit as it used to be. When I fell on hard terms because of the economics of the county, I no longer had the funding to keep everybody under one roof. When I asked for support from the management and budget and the prosecutor's office, there was nobody there to help with the expense. Therefore, I did not feel my obligation to continue everybody together should burden the county with my excessive spending. So I disbanded the group and had everybody go back to their respective units, but the team together is still functioning rather the same, it's just not in the same room.
What kind of funding would we need?
Well, I don't know if that's a good spending to do that, Commissioner. I was running, I think, about $1 million a year for the fraud team. Now, if we want to talk specifics, I think the biggest problem that I see is the lack of prosecutors being able to take on the work and the different cases. I believe there is, although I don't get reports from the prosecutor, let me explain. The function of my office is to take a complaint a complaint from anywhere in the county, and that their property they believe has been stolen. So we'll take the information, whether they come in person or online, and we'll sit down, we'll interview them with my fraud attorneys, and we'll take the necessary information to validate it is a true complaint. And once they sign that they will give the prosecutor the right to file a case, we package all the evidence up and send it forward to the prosecutor as a valid complaint. And then it's up to the prosecutor to do something with it. And we don't know what happens after that, whether they're validated as a complaint turns into a case, or whether they send it elsewhere or dismiss it. We have no knowledge of the thousands of cases that we have forwarded. Other than when we come to your budget time and we take a look at the questions and answers both from the Register of Deeds and the prosecutor's office, then we get and we are able to see how many cases were prosecuted. So I can't answer exactly how many attorneys are working actively on the cases. I know that they are tremendously overloaded with cases right now. We've recently had some combined cases where an attorney who's handling a specific case out in Macomb County said, let us take care of the Macomb County and the Wayne County case that this particular property owner had. And we'll deal with it in Macomb County because Wayne County is just overloaded with cases. I know that we're not getting to some for years, and that's a real problem. But I couldn't afford to have all of the attorney costs on my shoulder, so I can't answer what the cost it would be to prosecute more of these, Commissioner.
How many cases do we have?
Outstanding right now?
Yeah.
That again would be a prosecutor question.
So is there coordination? Because I heard you say a couple of times here that you weren't aware, and that both the unit is still operating, but within their respective departments.
Correct.
But you are not aware of I guess the number of cases and the progress. So I'm saying, how often are they generating reports to you associated with the progress, the pending cases, the current cases under investigation, and that type of reporting?
My attorney in the fraud group representing the Register of Deeds will get a subpoena to appear. And when we get that subpoena, then we know that case is being acted upon and there is a court date. That's the sense of our reporting.
Okay, so Tony's here from the prosecutor's office. Tony, you've been sitting here listening to these discussions. Would you be prepared to get to not just this committee, but to Gov Ops and the Public Safety Judiciary report as relates to that these questions that have come up?
Mr. Chair, the deed fraud unit isn't one that is my area of responsibility. However, I can assure the committee and the commission that the deed fraud unit exists. It is run by our assistant prosecuting attorney, Latoya Willis. I do not have at my fingertips those items that the Register of Deeds has indicated. However, I will be happy to go back, get the statistics.
And bring it back as our liaison.
And bring it back to you.
Yeah, thank you. If you can refer it, bring it back to the respective community, Public Safety Judiciary, this committee because of this issue, and then Gov Ops. Yeah.
Through the chair, I'd be happy to do that. I do have one other comment, and that is, as the Register of Deeds has indicated, the cases, once we develop them, and with our shorthandedness in the office, those are in fact prosecuted. The problem is the prosecutor's office does not impose the sentence. The sentence is imposed by the judges, and I don't want to put anything on the shoulders of the judiciary, but I would agree with the Register of Deeds that incarceration is a very good deterrent.
Okay, so we'll get the information from you, and if you can give us a sentencing history as far as, you know, just in general, don't have to be naming individuals, but so we can get some sort of insight as the type of sentences that have been coming out over the past couple of years or so. Yeah.
I will gather the information that I can and bring it back to this commission.
Okay, thank you. Once again, Mr. Youngblood, I want to thank you for always making yourself available. We still have some more questions here. We have Commissioner Baidoon, then we have Commissioner Clemente, and then
Commissioner Baker McCormick, then
Commissioner Baker.
Mayberry.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Youngblood, as a real estate broker, was very passionate about home ownership. I know firsthand what you do, and I truly appreciate all your efforts to protect the rights of homeowners throughout Wayne County and the state of Michigan. Listening to your comments today, it's really troubling that a senior citizen can lose their home and they can get a slap on the wrist. There's something wrong with this picture. And I don't know what we need to do in terms of lobbying the lawmakers in Lansing to have tougher laws and tougher sentences. As far as I'm concerned, there should be capital punishment for people that steal senior citizens' home. I mean, that's how passionate I am about this subject. Whatever you need from us, let us know. If we have to lobby, I don't know, all the senators and the representatives in Lansing, the governor, we're going to have a new governor very soon. We need to have tougher sentences on these people that prey on senior citizens. And correct me if I'm wrong, from my knowledge of this business, a lot of this deed fraud is committed by family members. Am I correct?
I don't have the statistics on that, Commissioner.
It's a prevalent.
But like you, those are the easiest to reverse. Usually somebody within a family member who tries to take advantage of other siblings, and we get a hold of that case, that can be resolved very quickly with a phone call, because these are not professionals. The threat that if the quitclaim deed is not given back to the rightful owner, then we are going to begin a formal investigation. That's enough of a scare tactic to have them return the rightful property. So I don't think the biggest issue is, I don't want to minimize it. Anytime somebody's property rights are stolen, that is a major issue. But between family members, I believe they are not, again, professionals, and they'll reverse it back once they get a call from a proper authority.
Mr. Youngblood, I want you to think outside the box here. You're a real estate broker for many years. If someone drafts a quitclaim deed, all they need is a signature and a notary public nowadays. They don't even require witnesses anymore, if I'm not mistaken.
You're absolutely right. As I began my real estate adventures in 1973, there were 2 witnesses required for the buyer's signature and the seller's signature. Our legislators eliminated that need back in, I want to say, the early 80s. And those signatures are no longer required, thereby making the notary the gatekeeper to a paper transaction or an electronic transaction. And unfortunately, another serious problem is that gatekeeper. The notary is not being educated properly. They're not being policed properly. We have people who are using notary's name, who is a real notary, but it's not the individual who actually signed the documents. And that is a severe problem. You might recall, I want to say about 12 years ago, we went to the state and drafted a new law that gave notaries who knowingly and willingly signed a document that was fraudulent, made that a felony. And that's a deterrent, but it
really is.
hasn't been enough. Now, we also, back to your original comment, what legislation can be created new? I think 2 years ago, I advised you that I was, and received your report, promoting a new law in the state of Michigan whereby all county register of deeds became co-victims. Therefore, they could maintain the integrity of the database that they take an oath to uphold. That law passed in March of 25 and was effective. We currently have, I believe it's 63 properties that have been stolen where I am a co-victim of Wayne County property owners, and we have yet to see that law utilized for a prosecution.
Mr. Youngblood, again, I'm thinking outside the box as a real estate broker. When we sell a house, a warranty deed is prepared by the title company, it's signed by the homeowner, it's a legitimate transaction, the deed is notarized. I'm thinking maybe we can come up with a way. I mean, how many times do we have people doing a quitclaim deed on a daily basis? You know, maybe we can establish some type of a entity or a system where a quitclaim deed has to go through that system where there are checks and balances, making sure there are no deed frauds. Now, I don't know what that system could be. I mean, maybe just like if I want to have a quitclaim deed, I cannot go to the bank and get it notarized. I have to go to a registered title company with the state of Michigan. I mean, I'm just thinking outside the box. There's got to be a way we can really put a stop to this deed fraud.
Well, I appreciate your thoughts, Commissioner, and I contemplated the same effort and what steps we can do. And therefore, I believe it was about 8 years ago, I brought in representatives from the National Association of Realtors, title companies, the real property section of the state of Michigan. And we sat down in my office and we muscled through it all. And we couldn't come up with anything better than we have right now. Not to saying what we have is the best, but that group of executives could not come up with the magic bullet that you're talking about. So we still have work to do. But I think we need to get a form together, and hopefully I have sent out letters to the governor requesting the seriousness of this problem and requesting a forum being held with the parties that we just spoke about, the Secretary of States who control the notaries, Michigan National Association of Realtors representatives, real property, state of Michigan attorneys, all of the groups together. And I have a list of them, and nothing has been done. I don't know if it's because of an election year, but maybe with your help, we can create such a forum.
Thank you. Does that conclude your question?
A lot is good. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so we will now go to Commissioner Baker McCormick and then Clemente, I'm sorry, Commissioner Clemente, Baker McCormick, and then Commissioner Peterson, and then Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So these are professionals that are doing this. And do we have a list of bad actors that cities would know about, or how could we help? You keep asking us to help. How can we help? What can we do? Because one of my assessors said that he had people coming into our city without trying to take properties without, and they were like a so-called company. And he advised everyone at the building department, don't issue anything to these people. So are there actual groups that we know about that are bad, or individuals? Is there a list of them? Like, how can we do a better job of not letting our seniors get?
It's not just seniors, Commissioner.
Or anybody.
You could have very young people that bought into Wayne County and
they're buying something that's not.
their money is lost because of somebody stole property. Or if it's not lost and they have given us a complaint, they can go through what's called quiet title hire an attorney to clear title, and that'll cost them about $20,000 before we get to it. And we, with this new law that I have, PA 154 of 2024, we take that burden on. But we are so far backlogged, we're not being very successful as far as I'm concerned. When we have 63 properties that fall under the new law and it hasn't been utilized, how can I ask you to do anything more? You have helped, you have supported every initiative that I brought forth. Commissioner Peterson Mayberry has joined forces with the city council person, I can't remember who it is at the time, who has now said, would you come out to one of our meetings? My team cannot go to every meeting that the Wayne County Commission puts on. And then now that the city of Detroit is finally reading the messages, they're asking us to go. It would be wonderful if you could join forces and we could come out to a joint meeting together. That's excellent work. That's really cooperation. And it cuts down on my forces and my team that usually has to work during the day, and then they have to go to one of these town halls in the evening to educate the people.
Okay. So
but again, the biggest deterrent that I can't emphasize is we've got to get some jail time.
Okay, so thank you on that. And we will definitely would look forward to the information from the prosecutor's office. Okay, we'll now go to Commissioner Baker McCormick, Commissioner Peterson Mayberry, no, Commissioner Anderson, then Peterson Mayberry. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And a lot of the questions that I have been answered. But just to be clear, you said there's 63 cases that you have currently?
Yes, under the new law that we have taken files for.
Okay, that were reported and that you submitted to the prosecutor's office.
That's correct.
Okay, is there more in the process of in the queue of being investigated that hasn't been submitted to the prosecutor?
I can't answer that. Every day when cases come in, it's up to my team first to review them.
Okay.
I can get back with you to see how many are in the files, but they have to have occurred after, I believe it's March 17th of 2025.
Okay, after the foreclosure.
No, that's when the law took effect.
Oh, okay, I see. So is this 63 from that point?
Correct.
Like from March
Yes.
17th? Okay. So can we get a copy of those or for our districts? So, because before you gave us some information and
I gave some information out that was not explicit
right
to the particular case because I certainly wouldn't want to jeopardize the prosecutor, and maybe Tony could
okay. So we'll wait.
Talk on that issue.
Okay.
Right.
And then my last question is, what is the penalty right now?
Slap on the wrist.
Right, but do you know what?
I believe it can be up to 10 years in prison.
Okay, it's a misdemeanor though. It's
No,
not
it is a felony.
It is a felony,
Right.
but it's what the judges or the courts do after they get.
I'm not sure of the process, Commissioner, but I believe it's up to what the prosecutor charges.
Right.
We pass the information on,
And
and
then
it's up to the prosecutor to decide if it's a
But
misdemeanor.
it is a
or
felony at
something.
this point. Okay,
On the paper, it is.
thank you.
And we have a large case that you might have recalled in the news from the United County Community Health Division in coordination with an individual from the treasurer's office. I brought that to the attention of the Detroit mayor a couple of years ago, and 2 individuals have pled guilty on that, and they are going to be sentenced in the first part of April. That should be a very large voice of the DOJ on this.
Thank you, Commissioner Anderson, and then Commissioner Peterson Mayberry.
I won't take just a moment because lots already been said that I totally agree with. I'd like to see us find some way to make the public aware and us to be aware of what judicial actions are being taken or not being taken, the slap on the wrist for people that are doing this unspeakable crime, taking someone's home. I just can't imagine, other than murder, anything that would be worse, taking someone's home. And I think the public should know what judges have just give people a slap on the wrist for doing this unspeakable.
I agree, Commissioner.
Crime. And I know I appreciated everything you've done. And I know I believe we tried to get something in last year's budget, correct?
Yes, you were trying to reconstitute a fund, to reconstitute, bringing them all together under one roof.
But if that doesn't work, let's find something
so
would be instrumental in helping you.
And you said, as you said here momentarily, you wasn't sure if that was a good use of resources to reconstitute that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the work is currently being done. It's just done in different places. Again, if I will say, we were the trailblazers in this new criminal wave, and it's not just in Wayne County. This is across the nation now, whereas in previous years, back in 2005 to today, when we started this, nobody else had heard of it. I mean, now I'm getting calls from district attorneys in Clara, California. Said, we've got a guy who was stealing homes over here. He said he started out in Detroit. It was so easy that he wanted to bring it over to California where the big property values are.
Well, I want to thank you as always, making yourself available and keeping us up to date on the progress of the work in your department. We're looking forward to receiving these reports so we can get a further glance at how this is progressing. But thank you again for joining us today. Okay, yeah.
Just one quick, and so thank you to your office. I know I came over and spent some time, and I've immersed myself in Public Act 154. So I think I kind of know how we're moving, but I feel like if we can't get the team together, when we get our report from the prosecutor's office, what is the right amount of personnel for the attorneys for the workload? So I know some of those attorneys were retired, they've come back, they're in a variety of spaces, but what is that right number? Because the more that we talk about this, the more that people are knowledgeable about it. I mean, every meeting, every community meeting I have, we're registering people with the deed fraud alert, and they know nothing about that. Some of them have paid for it, not knowing that they didn't have to pay for it. They're calling the office, and so now it is becoming more of a conversation because the victims are becoming more vocal about the fact that they're becoming victims. So in the information that comes back to us, I also would like to see, because this is a priority, so we do need to put some resources behind it within our authority. If we know what that number looks like in a prosecutor's office, to make sure that we have the right, because for something to be under investigation for 2 years, that's a long time. And I don't know what turnaround time we are giving people when they become a person to make a complaint from your office to the prosecutor's office. So when we get information back, I would love to see that information too. How many attorneys should we have? Because I'm sure 2 or 3 may not be the right number.
That's obviously a prosecutor's call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, yep. So the prosecutor, and she's always advocating for more prosecutors. But I want to thank you for joining us, and we look forward to that information. And as always, if we have any questions, we'll reach out.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day.
Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item number 5, requesting commission approval of a settlement in the matter of the library penal fines, Plymouth District Library.
Closed session is required for this item. At this time, I will entertain a motion to go into closed session pursuant to the Open Meetings Act and to consider a written legal opinion from our legal counsel that is exempt from discussion or disclosure under MCL 15.243G. So it's been moved by who? Moved by Commissioner Baidoon.
Supported by Commissioner Clementi.
Commissioner Clemente. At this time, we will now do a roll call vote.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Moreggi,
Yes.
Commissioner Clementi,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Badum,
Yes.
Chair Kinlock.
Yes.
We're now in a closed session.
At this time, I'd like to ask everyone who is not to participate in this closed session to please be excused, and would you please stop the recording and excuse